The final morning arrived quietly, without thunder or warning, as if the world itself was trying to pretend nothing extraordinary was about to happen. In a place where time was measured by footsteps in hallways and the slow ticking of clocks, a woman sat alone, knowing her life was hours away from ending. Yet in her eyes there was no anger, no screaming fear, only a deep, aching hope tied to one simple request that would soon change everything. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, take a moment to like this video, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. For years, the world had known her only through headlines and cold case files. Her name had been repeated on news channels with harsh words attached to it, stripping away the layers of her humanity. But long before she became a symbol of controversy, she had been someone ordinary, trying to survive life's weight like everyone else. She grew up in a quiet neighborhood, worked long hours, and dreamed small dreams, peace, stability, and a place where she belonged. No one plans to end up behind bars, and yet one night, shaped by fear, desperation, and a series of tragic mistakes, changed the course of her life forever. The trial was fast, loud, and unforgiving. Evidence was debated, stories were twisted, and soon her fate was sealed in a courtroom filled with strangers who would never know her beyond that moment. Appeals came and went like passing seasons, each one carrying hope that slowly faded. Over time, friends stopped visiting, letters stopped arriving, and the world moved on. Only one memory stayed alive in her heart, untouched by time or judgment. Years earlier, on a rainy afternoon, she had found a small, trembling dog hiding behind trash bins near her apartment. The animal was frightened, hungry, and abandoned, mirroring emotions she herself rarely spoke aloud. She took the dog home, fed it, and watched as trust slowly replaced fear. That dog became her family, her comfort, and her reason to smile after long days. Together they walked through quiet streets, shared silent nights, and formed a bond that did not rely on words. When she was arrested, the dog waited at the door for days, not understanding why she never returned. In prison, as the years passed, memories of that dog became her escape. When the walls felt too close and nights too heavy, she closed her eyes and imagined warm fur beneath her fingers and loyal eyes looking back at her without judgment. On her final day, when asked if she had any last wishes, she did not hesitate. She asked to see her dog one last time, not for sympathy, not for delay, but for closure. At first, officials dismissed the request. Rules were rules, and emotions had no place in a system built on procedure. But something about her calm determination lingered. After hours of calls and paperwork, permission was granted under strict supervision. The shelter that had taken in her dog years ago was contacted, and against all odds, the dog was still alive. Older now, slower, but still carrying the same quiet loyalty. When the visitation room was prepared, no one expected much. Officers stood ready, faces neutral, hearts guarded. Then the door opened, and the dog stepped inside. The moment was electric. The dog paused, sniffed the air, and suddenly pulled forward with a strength no one expected. Time seemed to stop as recognition sparked in those aging eyes. Without hesitation, the dog moved toward her, tail trembling, body shaking with emotion. She broke down as the dog reached her, resting its head against her as if no time had passed at all. Years of loneliness collapsed into that single moment. The room fell silent. Even the guards, trained to remain detached, felt something shift inside them. This was not a criminal and an animal. This was family reunited. What happened next was something no one could have predicted. The dog began acting in a way that drew attention, persistent, focused, refusing to settle. A staff member noticed markings on the dog's collar that had never been properly examined years earlier. Records were rechecked, details revisited. That collar, worn and faded, held information connected to a timeline that contradicted key testimony from the trial. What had once been overlooked suddenly mattered. The execution was halted. Investigators rushed to review evidence that had been buried under rushed judgments and assumptions. Witness statements were reanalyzed, timelines corrected, and new truths emerged. The story that had once seemed complete began to unravel. Within days, what was thought to be final became uncertain. Weeks later, the conviction was overturned due to critical errors that had been ignored. She did not walk free immediately, but something far more powerful happened. Hope returned, and through it all, her dog remained by her side, waiting patiently during supervised visits, reminding everyone that truth has a way of finding light, even in the darkest places. Years later, when she finally stepped outside as a free woman, the world felt unfamiliar, but one thing was the same. The dog waited, tail wagging, eyes filled with the same unconditional love. Together, they walked into a quiet life rebuilt slowly, not without scars, but with gratitude. If this story touched your heart, if it made you feel something deep inside, please take a moment to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that compassion can change destinies.